As I stand here before you today, there is one question on everyone's mind. The answer to that question is 6'4". That is how tall I am. Trust me, I checked this morning. Also, before starting, if you know me, you probably know I like puns. And in fear of not having enough in my speech, I actually have a bag full of puns here. If you'd like one, they're $19.95, but they do come with free shipping. So now on to the speech. I would like to start with some thank yous. First, I would like to thank my family for always supporting me in everything I do. I would especially like to thank my parents for homeschooling me at a young age to set a great foundation for my education. Speaking of education, I would like to thank all the teachers that have had these past 4 years. Woo! Depending on how this speech goes, you can either brag about that or just act like you never seen me before. I'd also like to thank Mr. Wallace's classroom couch for always being there for a nap after lunch. Trust me, if you've ever sat in that thing, you would understand. Also, thanks to the people that invented internet and Google, because it's the internet and Google. Come on. I would also like to thank Brandon, Mark, Adam, Mystique, and Chris for paying to be in this speech. Thank you, guys. And finally, on a serious note, I would like to thank God for giving me the skills and talents that have allowed me to stand here before you today. Now that the thank yous are out of the way, let's talk about life. In preparation for this speech, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. After all the cat videos, I saw some graduation speeches. After watching these videos, I realized I can compare life to just about anything. Seriously, I saw life compared to Rubik's Cubes, Star Wars, and even piñatas. Now, I tried to get the Jedi solving a Rubik's Cube piñata, but it must have been sold out because I couldn't find it anywhere. So I decided I should compare life to something a little bit more original, a pink gorilla. Now, hear me out on this one. There was a man who owned this pink gorilla. He was going on vacation, and he had somebody to watch it. So he got his friend to do it. Now, this man had a very strange house. To get to the gorilla, you would first have to go to the table with a lamp on it. You would then proceed to take the lamp off the table, move the table aside, and then remove the rug that had been underneath the table. This revealed a trap door. After opening this door, you would find a ladder. You would then go down this ladder, and that would go to a long hallway. The 27th door on the left is where the pink gorilla was. After showing his friend all this, the man warned him he must never touch the gorilla. All he was to do was feed him. This left his friend curious. So the next day, his friend entered the house, took the lamp off the table, moved the table, then the rug, opened the trapdoor, went to the ladder to the hallway, went to the 27th door on the left, and began to feed the gorilla. Now he had thought long and hard the night before whether or not he should touch the pink gorilla. On one hand, it might do something awesome. I mean, it's a pink gorilla. On the other hand, it could kill him with a slow and painful death. So he did what I believe many of us would have done. That's right, he touched the pink gorilla. He then found himself running very quickly down the hallway, up the ladder with the pink gorilla not far behind him. Unfortunately, being so afraid in that moment, he completely forgot to close the trap door, cover it with the rug, move the table over it, and put the lamp back in its rightful place. It was because of this mistake that the pink gorilla continued to chase him. He jumped in his car to get away and made it to about a block before running out of gas. So he grabbed his bike that had been very conveniently attached to the car. He made about 2 blocks on that before his front wheel found a nail on a road. Luckily for him, he found a skateboard on the side of that very road, and in desperation, he took it. He only got about half a block, though, before remembering that he didn't know how to ride a skateboard. Today was just not this guy's day. From that point, he had to continue on foot. Every few steps he took, the gorilla took a few more. He then tripped, like many people do in the movies when they really shouldn't. And before he knew it, the pink gorilla was right on top of him. He closed his eyes, covered his face. He covered his eyes and covered his face, and was expecting the worst. And then he felt a poke. He slowly opened his eyes to find that it was the pink gorilla. And then he heard the pink gorilla say, "Tag, you're it." Yes, just like that story, life doesn't always make sense at first. You may invest your time in things that result in something that you don't expect. For example, high school. I bet you didn't expect at the end of these 4 years, you'd be listening to some tall guy talking about pink gorillas that like to play tag. I know I didn't. You see, life is so complex that you don't know where it will take you. But hopefully, at the end of it, you will be able to find laughter. The real secret to life is realizing that you will never fully figure it out. But then to embrace that fact and take joy in knowing that you will learn something new about it every day. Now in closing, I would like to attempt to summarize my 4 years of high school with a quote from the ever-so-wise Larry the Cucumber from VeggieTales. I laughed, I cried, it moved me, Bob. Thank you, and God bless.